What is the difference between additive and multiplicative inverses? Imagine trying to undo a math problem like a magic trick. You need to know the right way to reverse what you did. That's where inverse operations come in. Today, we're talking about two special kinds, additive and multiplicative inverses. These are like the opposites of addition and multiplication, helping us solve equations and understand linear relationships better. Let's start with the additive inverse. Think of it as the number that cancels out another when added together. For example, if you have 5, the additive inverse is -5 because 5 plus -5 equals 0. It's like adding a negative to cancel out a positive. This concept works for all numbers, whether they are whole numbers, fractions, or even complex numbers. The key idea is that the additive inverse changes the sign of the number. When you add a number and its additive inverse, the result is always 0, which is the identity element for addition. Now the multiplicative inverse is a little different. It's the number that, when multiplied by the original number, gives you 1. For example, the multiplicative inverse of 4 is 1/4 because 4 times 1/4 equals 1. This is also called the reciprocal. For fractions, you flip the numerator and denominator to find the multiplicative inverse. So, the reciprocal of 2/3 is 3/2. The important thing to remember is that 0 does not have a multiplicative inverse because no number multiplied by 0 will ever give you 1. The multiplicative inverse relates to the operation of multiplication and the number 1, which is the identity element for multiplication. In algebra, these inverse ideas are super helpful. When solving equations, you use the additive inverse to get rid of a number by adding its opposite. For example, if you have +3 equals 7, you subtract 3 from both sides, which is like adding -3. This helps you find the value of x for multiplication. If you have 4 times y equals 8, you multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 4, which is 1/4. This cancels out the 4 and leaves you with y equals 2. Understanding these inverse operations makes solving linear equations much easier. They help you reverse the steps you take to isolate variables. Whether you're adding or multiplying, knowing the right inverse allows you to undo the operation and find the answer. So, next time you see an equation, think about how you can use the additive or multiplicative inverse to simplify and solve it. These tools are like the secret keys to unlocking many algebra problems.